I'm a 21-year-old male college student living with my parents, both in their 50s, and my older brother, 26. For the past 2 years, since starting college, my parents have charged me $500 monthly rent for my childhood bedroom while I've covered all my tuition and expenses. This wouldn't seem odd if we were strapped for cash, but we're not. My brother, meanwhile, never paid rent during his college years, and his entire education was funded by a $60,000 account our grandfather set up for each of us at birth. The agreement was straightforward. Grandpa provided $60,000 for my brother's college and another $60,000 for mine. My brother used his to graduate debt-free from a top university. When my turn came, I expected the same. Instead, my parents claimed there was no money for my tuition or living costs, offering vague excuses about tough times and money not growing on trees. They insisted I attend college full-time while working nearly full-time to pay my way, including rent. Initially, I accepted their explanation, thinking perhaps an emergency drained the funds, though they dodged any specifics. But red flags started appearing. The biggest was my brother's extravagant wedding last year. It was a grand affair, hundreds of guests, a luxurious venue, a designer gown for his bride, a live band, even an ice sculpture of a dove. Standing at the reception, I mentally tallied the costs, wondering how my parents could afford such opulence right after claiming they had nothing for my education. I stayed quiet during the wedding to avoid drama, but the suspicion lingered. Whenever I gently asked about my college fund or our finances, my parents shut me down with guilt trips like, "Don't be ungrateful, we're housing you," or "You need to be independent." Feeling ashamed for questioning them, I let it go for a while. But this week, after a brutal summer semester juggling 2 jobs to cover tuition, bills, and rent, I snapped. I confronted my parents, demanding to know what happened to my $60,000 and why I was paying rent when my brother never did. The argument got heated. My mom called me disrespectful and said the money was gone, telling me to move on. My dad insisted I'm an adult and should expect to pay my own way. I countered that charging rent to a struggling college student, especially when my fund was supposed to exist, wasn't normal. In my frustration, I accused them of stealing my education money. That didn't go over well. My mom was livid, and my dad threatened to kick me out if I kept making accusations in their home. They called me selfish for expecting a handout, but I argued it was Grandpa's gift, not a handout. The fight ended in a stalemate, and now we're barely speaking. My brother, who moved back home after his wedding to save for a house, thinks I should apologize to keep the peace. He says our parents must have had a valid reason for using my fund and that I'm overreacting. It's easy for him to say. He got his degree and a lavish wedding. I'm stuck in a tense household, feeling unfairly treated. Maybe calling them thieves was too much, and I'm questioning myself. Do I owe them an apology for refusing to pay rent and suspecting they spent my college fund on my brother's wedding? Update 1. Wow, the response was overwhelming. Hundreds of comments when I expected a handful. Most of you agreed I'm not the asshole, NTA, and suspected my college fund was used for my brother's wedding. Many urged me to call my grandfather. I can't tell you the full story in short. To watch the full story, click the related link below.